Hey folks, it's Sven and today I will teach you a nice chord melody to the beautiful Christmas song Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas. And I will start with the demonstration and then explain some details. I play it in the key of C and I try to mix some influences from jazz music and folk music to make it sound very light and decent for a performance underneath the Christmas tree. So hope you like it. Here it is. That was Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas. So, and here's how I started. I played it with a very normal open C chord, and so the melody note is on the B string. Have your... and then on the E string. So there's nothing that you have to do instead of playing C, and the melody note is on the B string, C, and then E on the E string. And then I played an A minor 7 chord voicing with the G on top. And this is also the melody note. And then I played again an A minor 7 chord voicing, and this time, instead of using this normal campfire voicing with, you know, open A, E, open G, C, and G, I played this bar chord in the 5th fret with open A, G, which is the 7, C, which is the 3rd, E, which is the 5th, and C on top. And this is the melody then. And now for this Merry Little Christmas, there's a special that I'm using in the first round, and this is very nice. I play a D minor 11 chord up here in the 10th fret with my middle finger on the D in the bass, 10th fret, A string is muted. Then I got a C here and an F and an A, and I pick up the strings like B string, G string, and then the open E string. And then I play the remaining D of the melody like G, F, E, the D with a natural harmonic. Then I use this harmonic to get back to the first position, and I play like a G sus chord with C on top, and I'm playing the root with my thumb. You can also play this kind of G sus chord. I play the root with the ring finger, that doesn't matter. And then I play a B dim chord, and that will be with B, F, G sharp, and D. This is the pretty normal voicing. And then we got the melody note here, the D on top. And this is the whole movement, like... And this is the first phrase, like the first bars. Have yourself a merry little Christmas. then the C does not come on the 1, but and then I pick the strings from the C like let your, or you can even pick the G string like let your. Then on the G, this time we have a dominant 7 chord on A, so I play this voicing. It could be played with the middle finger and the bar chord. It could be played without a bar chord at all. Pinky and bar chord, ring finger and bar chord, doesn't matter. I'm playing pinky and bar chord for some reason. I think it's very comfortable for my hands. Like hearts. I don't know the lyrics really, but I think it's let your hearts. And then I play A dominant 7 with a raised 9 here. And this is not so common. The common voicing is that one in the 12th fret. It's exactly the same notes. We got the A here, 7th fret on the D string, C sharp, 6th fret on the G string, and then ring finger and pinky playing G and C. Be light. And this time, this is the same voicing than the one we had up in the 10th fret, just on the A string, with D, D string muted, C, F, and G on top. Light. And then the melody finished, this phrase is finished, so we can play some picking to, you know, combine the D minor 11 with the G dominant 7 chord, like this. Let your heart be light. So I'm playing something like that, or whatever you like, you know. Then we go back to the C again. And again, the C comes later. From now on, and then we have this same movement again with C, A dominant 7. Now I have to think about it because now it continues different, I think. Wait, let me play one more time. Heart be light. Ah, okay, sorry. Now the last phrase starts with the C major 7 chord, and I played that one up here. Sorry about the confusion. I play a normal C major 7 chord, and first of all the melody note is on E, so I play it with these 3 fingers, and then add the middle finger later. And this is like C, A string muted, natural B, E, and G. And I play it like this. And this is nice. I'm picking the open A string here, and then play the rest of this A dominant 7 raised 9 voicing. And then you can play a dim chord with E on top, which is a substitute for A dominant 7 flat 9, or you can play an open harmonic here, a natural harmonic. So, or, and now comes this melody. And here I decided not to play it all with chords. You could go with a block chord melody, something like, you know, something like that. But I do it with one bar chord, and I let the melody, you know, be played. You know, I play the melody only because it sounds more natural to my ears. I can even do a little pull-off here. Hammer on pull-off. And then I play E dominant 7. That way. This is like the bar chord that you know in the 7th fret from the A string, but only the middle strings with low E in the bass. And then I play this very common E dominant 7 chord voicing with my ring finger on the A string, 7th fret. Then we got the G sharp, 6th fret on the D string. Then we got the natural D on the G string, 7th fret, and the root again here. And now the E remains in the melody all the time. For A dominant 7, you can play it like this with the thumb in the bass, and the A string is muted. You can also, if you don't like fretting with the thumb, you can play it like this, or even with a bar chord, doesn't matter here. And then E dominant 7/9 with D, F sharp, C, and E, and then D minor 9, or D minor 7/9 with D, F, C, and E. And then G dominant 7/13. You can play it with a bar chord like this, or the normal jazz chord with a muted A string. This is also fine. And this is the movement that we got here, you know? So I will play the whole thing, this whole A, like. half of A, and this is pretty much the same, so this is all the same. Da, 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 da. And now da, da, till the E dim or A dominant 7 flat 9 is the same. And now we get again these little D minor bar chord here, but now F is the melody note. And I play it like, I release the bar chord after this little pull off, hammer on pull off. Back to C, and then I play B dim as a substitute for E dominant 7 flat 9. Move it up 3 frets, so it's still E dominant 7 9, flat 9. And then I do a little trick that's very nice. I play an open harmonic here, and on the strings A, D, and G, I play a descent like A, C, G, which is A minor 7. Then I move back these 2 fingers to A flat dominant 7. Then I play in the 10th fret G minor 7, do the same thing, move these fingers like this for G flat dominant 7 to B. And part B, I decided to play that with the melody down an octave. So here we are. And then I play the G string here to make the difference, to emphasize the difference between F major and F minor. So here we are, open E is the melody. Then the melody continues on the B string, S, L, D, C. Now E minor, golden days, and actually just back, B, C, D. This is D sharp dim. It could be seen as a B dominant 7, but it's D sharp dim more. And the melody is A, so on the G string, open B, and C. And so we have the same thing like. Now we have D minor with A in the melody, which is difficult down here in that octave. So I decided to play a D minor with F in the bass. So because the third is actually, it's very difficult to, you could play this chord, which is kind of stressy and doesn't sound so good to my ears. So I decided to play it like, then I play G sus. Release the sus to the open B string, and then play C major 7 with G in the bass. Second half of part B is F half diminished with C on top, B with open B on top, the E string is not needed, then A, and then we have on the E minor, we have G, A, B, and then I do a nice little trick here to make the A sound good, because it's very difficult with the open B to find a good sounding A. You could do this one, but it would sound too pop music like. So I did like, and play here with my thumb A, E with my ring finger, G with my first finger, and C sharp with my index. And it's very difficult to play that without some fretting. Then you could do it somehow like this, which is pretty stressy for me, so I would prefer the thumb fretting here. Then we play open B, no chord here, C, and then I play A minor 11, D dominant 7, just a D, and a G. Then I come in with a G chord. It's a pretty normal G triad here, no 7, nothing. You could do like, also put in the 7 here on the D string. And then we're back in A. Well, and that's basically it. So first of all, now everything is repeated that we just had before. When I play this melody, like in the demonstration, I sometimes played it here. Then I play the D minor 11 like this. Then comes the F, and then open E, D, and again the same thing. I did did this in the introduction, having my thumb up with the G here, and then playing, which is the Freddy Freeloader lick of Miles Davis. With G, B, E to F, A, D. And then we are finished. Everything the same that we had before. And now comes the end phrase. And this time I played in the right octave. I play F major 7 in drop 2 voicings. This one, bar chord 10th fret, and having my pinky up in the 12th fret. Have yourself a... And the only voicing that I changed is in the 1st fret. I didn't play the actually drop 2, which would be this one, because I don't like the sound of that. 7 in the bass, don't like it here. So I play F as a triad, or what's also beautiful, leaving the G string open for an at 9 chord. And then instead of F major 7 here, I like F6, leaving out the B string to the bar chord here. And the last phrase is D minor. I play this with the little bar chord here. Merry little. All in the D bar chord. E, D, C, B. And then I play G9. Christmas. And I play the B with an open harmonic again. Natural harmonic. And then I play a very old typical progression. F sharp half diminished. F minor 7. Then I play C with E in the bass. Like E, D string muted. C, G, C. Then I play D sharp dim. And I have this picking here on the upper 3 strings, so I have to play a very strange voicing with D sharp, D string muted, and then we got C, F sharp, and C. D minor 7, and then D flat major 7, also no D string, like this. So you got this one. And if you ask yourself how I get the C on top here, I do it with a bar chord that's covering two frets. My first finger is playing F sharp, and at the same time C in the fret before, in the 8th fret. So very normal bar chord for F minor 7. Then this strange C with E in the bass. Then this very strange and not so common D dim chord. D minor 7, it's pretty normal. I have the ring finger here on the D string, but it's not needed, so I could leave it. I just did it because I was not thinking of it. And then I play this D major, D flat major chord. It's a D flat major chord, having the major 7 up here on C, 8th fret, and leaving out the D string. So I can do that because I couldn't do that with the 5th here, so I have to leave out the 5th, but I'm not playing it with the right hand, so it doesn't matter anyway. And then I play an end melody like, oh, sorry, B, C, D, F sharp, and then I played like C major 7 with a raised 11. And I played that with my thumb. And the last chord was this one, bar chord 2nd fret, but we have a C in the bass, and then the ring finger is playing D on the B string. And I did that with natural harmonics. So therefore you go 12 frets high, and I use my index finger, you know, to mute the string a little, like you do it if you would play a natural harmonic. And then behind the strings, I'm picking it with my thumb, like this. And this is how you can play 12 frets further, you know, any melody. The microphone is hiding it, like this. So this was my lesson on Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas. I hope you like it. I hope it helped you. And I wish you all a Merry Little Christmas. Thanks for all your support throughout the year. And yeah, click on subscribe to my channel and follow my videos. There's a lot to learn in gypsy jazz and normal jazz music. And I wish you all the best. This was Sven for you. Bye.